Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about this Manco Lil Critter dune buggy, go-kart, whatever it's called. And I bought this several years ago on Marketplace. The original engine was a Robin brand engine. This is just from Princess Auto. It's similar to, I guess, a Predator 212. If you're in the States, you're probably familiar with that. Princess Auto had these engines super low price before. They were like under $100, and which is good in Canadian dollars. And my father-in-law inherited a bunch of these. Were new in the box from his uncle that had passed away. And so he ended up giving me this engine, and so I popped it in there. Because that Robin engine had leaked all over my floor. Thought it was just a goner. Ended up finding out later on. I looked at the engine and put a pull start in it, and I had noticed that the drain plug at the bottom was loose. It was just, you could tighten it with, unloosen it with your hand, and yeah, I put some oil in it, pull the pull starter, and it started right up. So I went through all this BS just to remount this engine. And the kids used it for a bit, but like I said, with the one-wheel peel, it was just useless, this thing. So I decided I'm going to try to get an axle kit, which I bought off Amazon here. You could see these all over Amazon. But the problem was, it just wasn't going to work. It's too narrow, and which I should have double-checked. I thought I could make it work. I could have made it work with chopping and all that kind of nonsense, but I thought, nah, forget it. Just start from scratch, be easier. So I ended up just using the rotor and caliper and this master cylinder. Made a brake and made a bracket and a bell crank. Everything's kind of loose right now, but anyways, this is how it works. This rod's from an old woodworking clamp. Plastic ends broke, and anyway, I saved this rod, so made that. So I ended up buying on Amazon these 1-inch pillow block bearings. I think it was like $20 for two of them. Here in Canada, those are 1/2-inch bolts. I ended up putting some lock nuts and all that. I ended up making this reinforcement bracket just to make it stronger. Welded that to the chassis, and then I ended up getting these weld-on hubs that you could see there. I CNC burned a flange, welded that on there. They're meant for making up sprockets and that, but anyways, I used it for this, and then drilled the holes on that plate to mount in my milling machine, so it's done accurately to the center. So it doesn't wobble much, but they're just cheap China tires. Got this 35 chain sprocket, 36 tooth from Amazon, and and then I got another hub here. I got 3 hubs total, 2 for the wheels, and then another one I machined down to fit this rotor, and I drilled the bolt locations on my milling machine. And yeah, and what else? Oh yeah, so I'll show you the brake mount. So I had to add this tubing here. It's welded from underneath, and there I had to cut a tab here. I don't know, it was in the way. I don't know what that tab was for. So I CNC plasma cut that little bracket there. It's welded underneath and welded a little on the top. It was kind of a little tricky, but I got it done. Anyway, everything's loose, so I'm gonna have to use some socket head cap screws. I can use regular hex head, but it's not a lot of clearance and it's hard to put in, so I'm gonna get some metric socket caps to make that work. But anyway, that's the progress I've made so far. Also, I gotta narrow the drive shaft. I'm gonna cut it and then face it in my lathe, these ends, and then I'll drill and tap probably, I'm thinking 3/8 bolts. I'm gonna make a big washer on my plasma, and then I'm probably gonna get some tubing to space between this hub here and the pillow block bearing. So when it's also keyed. You can see the keyway there. So I'm gonna key 4 keys, one for each wheel, one for the brake disc, and another one for the sprocket here. And yeah, so I gotta cut that on the mill. And what else? And then so yeah, I'm gonna narrow this drive shaft to whatever length I'm gonna do, and then drill and tap probably 3/8. I'm thinking, because I don't think I'm gonna have any clearance for a half, so probably have to go 3/8. And then but I'll do the math on that. And again, yeah, so the shaft will be shorter. Then I'll add another tubing in between here and the hub, so that when you tighten, there's a set screw on the hub. I'll tighten that first, but when you tighten, it'll have a washer, and it'll just be able to tighten and push against that tubing and keep the width, and keep that nice and firm and in place. Anyway, that's the progress I made so far on this. It's been quite a bit of time. I wish I'd have just bought them a brand new dune buggy, but anyway, here we are, and gonna see it through. So anyways, I'm probably gonna post another video of it finalized, and then probably my kids tearing up my grass. Anyway, that's about it for now. Have a great day.